But like,
No, yeah, you're right.
I feel like for a while it felt easier, but I think we just were ignoring a lot of the complexity of it.
For a
Like,
while, what felt easier? Like the two kids?
yeah.
I don't know. I
Well,
don't think I ever felt that.
like when we had one, we were just learning how to be parents, and Ollie was very, very needy, and we were going through a lot of things in our life, and like I gained 40 pounds in like 2 months. You know what I mean? Like out of like extra stress, not sleeping, and I felt like I wasn't even eating that differently or that much more.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like I must have been, because obviously like calories in versus calories out, like it's just like the science of it. But like that didn't happen with baby number two for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but because by the time we had Kai, we already knew what it was like to be parents, and we were all like, we had like, there is a, and this obviously there's like exceptions to every rule, and like not every parent goes through this. Like some parents, I choose not to be active parents and potentially like don't have this change, but like, or maybe they were already more adult than we were before they had kids. But like there's a transformation that happened at
Yeah.
least within us,
Mm-hmm.
where it was like from 0 to 1 kids, we became like like we became people who understood the value of time more, and like like the energy that we put into things, like we had an easier time initiating that energy, instead of being like, oh, I don't want to do this, like I'm just gonna sit here
And
on the
this is
couch
like
because I'm tired.
specifically for us, like
Yeah.
who we were as people before
Yeah.
we were like children, like adult baby children,
Yeah.
and we like it was like complete chaos in our life, and having kids like really made us have a routine, but we're actually like thriving because of it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like it changed us for the better, in that it's like I in my brain I no longer say like, oh, I don't want to work right now. It's just like, this is the time that I work. Like, yeah, I'm tired. Yeah, I have like low energy, but it like that this is what I get.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have 12 hours to be like, okay, how do I want to segment this for work? Like, no, I get two. Like I get two, and they better be damn good ones.
You don't have 12 hours to be like, should I go or should
Yeah.
I stay or should I go?
Yeah, exactly. No, I think I'll just stay and play a video game. I'll just work more tomorrow. Like,
And you
I
don't get that
know.
luxury with kids.
No.
You get what you get. And
Yeah,
that's it.
that's it.
Um
So I
yeah.
like from 0 to 1 that happened. And so from 1 to 2, we already had that mindset. So the challenges, like obviously there's extra challenges that come with that, with having two. But in terms of like what was harder, I feel like it feels like 0 to 1 was harder, probably just because there's more change involved. But
Mhm.
like managing the emotions of two children during the times when both of them aren't sleeping well, and both of them are going through their own physical and mental and emotional like changes, like in their growth spurts, like when those cycles meet up together, it's like it's a storm. It's a storm. So I could only imagine you add a third onto that, it's that much like more difficult. You add a fourth onto that, it's that much. And eventually like how do parents that have like more than I don't know what the number for us, for me, like more than two kids, like how, and like one's a full-time parent and one's working, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
like, or if
Yeah.
both are full-time parents, like how do you find the like the time and the energy and the like, yeah, that's it, like the time and the energy to be fully present for all of them.
Like my friend my friend who she's like a full-time mom, and her husband is in the military, and like can you imagine like when he goes off and he deploys, it's not even like you come home and you
You
get
get a
that
break.
relief.
No, it's
Like
like
no,
that's
it's like
full-time, full
like
time.
full times.
Yeah. Well, I
I
think,
mean, but there comes a like
yeah,
yeah, but like when you're starting out, like
Ollie can't take care
Ollie,
of Kai, you know,
I
like,
mean he would. I mean, let's not think about what Ollie would do to Guy. He was in charge.
You'd be like, I'll just leave you here. My tablet's more important.
And Kai, like, he's army crawling, and just yesterday, he's just started to go. Like, go, man. Like, he's not even
Yeah.
waiting to learn how to crawl all the way. He's like,
Yeah.
I
Instead of
was doing
staying
my
in the play
exercise.
area, he's like,
I was doing my exercise yesterday, and Kai was in the play area, and I was like zumbaing it up, and all of a sudden I looked down, and I'm like, oh my god, where's Kai? I lost Kai. He was not in the play area. And Jesse was like, he's over by the window, like all the way out of the play area. Like it was a long way
mhm.
away. And I was like, oh my goodness. So now we've had to like today we've had to just jimmy rig it so that like the play area is an inescapable fortress for
Mhm.
Kai. Um because otherwise we would lose him. He
Yeah.
goes so fast. So freaking fast. It's insane. And like yeah, but anyway, like my friend like yeah, and like not even that. Like if you have more kids, but then like if you have like you have your two kids or
Mhm.
whatever that are like not the same ages, right? And then you're like planning on having a second baby, a third baby, and it's like twins, and then you have like two that are at the same emotional level,
Yeah.
sort of, and it's like, you know, could you have imagined
Nope.
if Ollie was a
Nope.
twin or like even if Kai was a, oh my, no,
Nope.
no, I
I
don't
mean,
know how
like
you do it, my friend,
in the latter
but
stages,
you are a god.
yeah. In the latter stages, like it would be great, right? Like you have two like teens and what who you can emotionally connect with, like, and obviously like teens go through their own stages, and then when they're adults, like you have two specific relationships that are around the same like level of maturity. And so like I feel like as a parent, like once it gets to that stage, it's probably a lot more fulfilling. And a lot of people would be like, yeah, but it's just hard in different ways. Like
Yeah,
the cliche thing. But
yeah.
and I'm not to say that's not true, but I just harder, like I can't, like I'm not there, but I already refute that point
Right, and
because
people
of
say
sleep
like,
and
and
everything.
I've heard this too, like you just do it, like there's no choice, and I get
Mm-hmm.
that. Like I know,
Yeah.
obviously, like I know you just do it because you have no choice. But can we just like, can we just like forget about that saying for like a second and just like really think about how insanely difficult that is? Like, okay, like yeah, you
Yeah.
don't have a choice, I get it, but like, holy cow, it's still so
Yeah.
hard. Like it's so hard.
Well, yeah. And at what point, like, and I think like we're not to our second topic yet of like the COVID stuff, but like kind of early segue, like and coming back, but like what happens during the times where like you can't just do it, like our bodies can only do so much, and like it's okay to say, yeah, you just have to do it. But what happens if, as a parent, you break your leg, or
Or you're pregnant with your second child and you can't get off the couch because you'll
mhm,
start vomiting
or
everywhere.
you get like cancer or something? You know what I mean? Like, and you have to like legitimately leave to go to chemo treatments. And then during a time like COVID, where it's like you're the only person that can go to the hospital, what do you do with your children? And then like at some point, like just do it. Like, and I think like this is where when you have multiple children, like it has to be this way because you only have so much, like you only have so much time and attention, even if you were awake for 24 hours and like killed yourself being a parent. Like at some point you have to just accept that like you're doing your best, and that has to be okay, even if it leads to like trauma and other stuff for your children. You know what I mean? Like always, like
Yeah. Well,
you
no.
never
Yeah.
know
Yeah. I
whether
wouldn't have.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like it's like you never know whether the smallest moment is going to be the thing that creates a thought or emotion in your child that changes them forever. Like you
Mm-hmm.
never know.
Mm-hmm.
Like like some kids could be okay with no love and like grow up to somehow still be like functioning productive members of society because their mind never had a thought that like that they held so deeply that it like created a disorder in them to be able to function. But like some children like see their parents yell once and like that's it. You know what I mean? Like that's the moment that they like chose to take on for relationships. You know what I mean? Like you
I
never
don't think
know.
it's that simple. Like it has to be like a repeated thing.
No, no, like it really does. Like if you study psychology, and I know you're studying psychology too, but like in coaching and psychology, like one kid could be running and trip and scrape
Mm-hmm.
their knee and decide in that moment, this hurts so bad, I'm never running again. And another kid in that exact same moment can trip and fall, scrape his knee and be like, that really hurt, but I love running so much, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, but I think like that's
You
also
know what I
when the
mean?
parents step in and they're like, yeah, so we fought or whatever, or you
Hmm.
fell, but it's okay,
Yeah,
or
but a lot of
whatever.
parents don't do that. And sometimes that's okay and sometimes it isn't in terms of like that specific child's development. Some like I think you and I do a really good job of like cataloging those moments and saying, "Ooh, like I know I'm not being an ideal parent right now." And like knowing that we have to compensate for that or like do our best to compensate for those moments, but not all parents have that consciousness in like in them at that moment, or they're more sleep deprived than we are, or like they have more other stuff going
Like we're
on too.
having these thoughts right now because we're not in the survival area. Like if
True.
if we
True.
had been like even just like 2 months ago, I wouldn't have had these thoughts. There was no way that I would have been like, oh wait, do you feel like we're spending enough time with you? Like I would have been like, punch in, punch out.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's the mind frame
Yeah.
that I was in because I was so tired. And like maybe I'm still tired now, but like it's gotten to the point where my body like okay is like, yeah, okay, fine, fine. This is the
Mhm.
routine. Let's make it
Well,
work.
I think we're not as tired either because we found ways to give each other breaks. Like, and we've gotten to the point where like in their development and like in sleep patterns, we can like in the morning, I wake up with Ollie normally before Sam wakes up with Kai because she's up a lot more at night with Kai. And so if it's a really rough night for her, then when Kai does wake up, she hands me Kai. I'm with both of them, and then she goes back to sleep. And then if it was a rough night for both of us, when she's done getting her hour or two, I then go back to sleep.
It's true.
So like we've found ways to get each other more sleep, and it's not so
It
like
has
free
been
for
very
all.
helpful. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But like when we were in survival mode, there's no way we would have thought like, oh, let me take the like kid, you fell, you fell. Get back up or don't. Like it's up to you. Have
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Um
Hmm.
but yeah, and I think that speaks to a lot of it and it took us a long while to get to this point where I feel like finally I'm not in starvation mode anymore and not starvation in what's the word that we were just using in
Survival,
yes maybe we
survival.
are in survival mode anymore and sometimes and like but we're just barely at the cusp which
Mhm.
brings me to which so like we were doing so good guys like so good like we had a routine down
Mhm.
every day we were exercising to feel good like it helped us get more energy we felt good
Mhm.
everything was just great and then what happened
My parents came, your parents came, the
no
vaccine happened. Are we done talking about one versus two kids?
well I was like a good
That
transition
was a great transition.
oh my goodness
Sorry, I
so
just like blocked the transition. But I feel like there's so much more to talk about. For
like what part do you feel like we missed out on